Welcome to Fallout 4's moody, foggy-drenched DLC of Far Harbour. It's dark, it's dangerous, and it wants you dead. So I thought the bright idea to take it unlocked to level 1. Usually in Fallout, you're the Vault Crybaby. Start off by running from rad roaches, only to end of the game turning raiders into a red mist. You charm merchants into giving you sweet discounts, pump your intelligence to craft weapons that go from kinda deadly to scientifically horrifying, and pick perks that let you be either a silent sniper or guns blazing juggernaut. The cycle's very simple. You end up leveling up, getting stronger and smarter and practically unkillable with every level. Well, mostly. But this time, forget all of that. No perks, no special buffs. This does include comics, armor, no power armor, and no companions. No progression, no safety net. See, at level 1, no mountain of guns or stockpile of ammo is going to save us. Every trapper patrol, every fog crawler, every miler queen. Oh, they're not just enemies anymore. They're entire Dark Souls boss fights. One wrong move, one bad shot, and I'm just a smear on the shoreline. This isn't a power fantasy anymore. It's a fight to stay alive. So buckle up, this is Can You Be Fallout's Nightmare, that is Far Harbour, locked at level 1. We start off like every other Fallout run, staring into the mirror, regretting every life choice that led me here. And yeah, I know this isn't Far Harbour, we'll get there. But to conquer the mist, we need someone who's native to that environment. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage. Born in the depths of a Chernobyl kiddie pool, this fishman thing knows his way around radioactive water like it's his birthright. If you couldn't tell, Swamp Puppy was very excited for this run. Look at that energy, that determination. Yeah, all of that's going to be stripped away very, very soon. Mr. Salesman showed up and told me the world was going to, and I quote, heck in a handbasket. Whoa, alright, chill, my poor innocent ears. Can't bear that kind of language. But when it came to picking my stats, I put them all into, well, nothing. I tried hiding in a cupboard to avoid my fatherly responsibilities. See, there's nothing Far Harbour-y about this place yet. Well, unless you count my pet Gulper. Look at him, isn't he just a cute little abomination? I tried hiding from Nora too, but she didn't look too impressed with that. So I took a sad little walk back to the sitting room, eager for the apocalypse. With the bombs about to fall, we made our way up to the vault, leaving the Gulper and wife behind. And then we spectated what I can only describe as
Oh my god!
Total atomic annihilation.
In the vault, we annoyed the man with the lab coat. Yeah, but I think I annoyed him a little bit too much, because instead of a tour, I got a cryo nap. As I drifted off to sleep, I watched my wife get executed by a guy that, even from inside this pod, I could still smell the San Francisco sunlights and Gwyneth's out. Please, sir, bathe. We escaped the pod and swiftly moved on, because only one thing matters now. Get Swamp Puppy to Far Harbour so you can take a sip of irradiated water. I dashed through the vault, making sure I didn't pick up any loot, as I'd want all my loot to come from Far Harbour. As I was running through, the rad roaches took a little bite out of me, and then I waited to be hidden so I can grab the Pip-Boy. But see, these rad roaches evolve more than their ancestors. They develop navigation skills. Yeah, they found the way to an open door. Fortunately though, they still don't have hands and don't know how to open a door. So I sealed them in and made my escape. With the Pip-Boy secured, we ascended to the surface and left the vault. And immediately stripped ourselves of all special points and clothes. Now, for the real journey. We need to get to the Nakato residence to start the DLC. It's just a little bit of a hike, but we're doing it in the nude. The Commonwealth was surprisingly chill. I even found time to relax in a lake. Sure, I lost some health, and yeah, the super mutants and blood bugs made me question my life choices. But aside from a few hiccups like that, we made it to the Nakato home. Because we weren't born yesterday, we headed straight into the boathouse and grabbed the hidden key from behind the picture frame, cracked open the safe and listened to Kasumi's holotape, where we found out she ran off to Far Harbour because she thinks she's a synth. We watched the Nakatos to see if they were Swamp Puppy friendly and slipped inside and stood inconspicuously in the doorway until we decided to talk. Swamp Puppy is a lot of things, but socially awkward is definitely one of them. We told the Nakatos where Kasumi was and tried to push our luck for some extra caps to help us find her. They politely rejected our request, but still, they handed over the boat keys and 300 caps to go find her. So we hit the open water, singing sea shanties. Oh, a sailor went to sea to see what he could see, and all that he could see was the bottom of the deep blue. Having the time of our lives, we eventually reached Far Harbour and the run officially begins. Crawling off the board, I'm surprised no one mistook us for a fog creature and instantly put a bullet in us. But shortly after telling Captain Avery I was looking for Kasumi, some bells rang out as the town was under attack. See, we were told to defend the town, but honestly, I had no idea what to do. I was naked and weaponless. Maybe my pasty white skin could blind the gulpers and anglers. Instead, I just sat on a chair while the citizens handled the problem. After a long, difficult battle, I almost broke a sweat. Oh, not from fighting though, but from thinking too hard. While all this chaos was going down, I was just thinking to myself, if I could have any superpower, but it can only be used to do mundane tasks, what would it be? Personally, I would choose to summon socks, but only mismatched ones. Anyways, enough waffle, back to the game. With the citizens clearing the chaos, I scavenged all the loot from the fallen townsfolk, and I was thanked for my efforts. No problem whatsoever, I tried my best. Sadly though, I couldn't save poor Tabitha from the gulpers. Her clothes and gear will be passed down from centuries, and the legend of Tabitha will be told for generations. Talking to Captain Avery, she told me old Longfellow could help and that I could find him at the bar. So I diverted my attention to the store, where I got scammed hard. Like, look at this stuff. 100 caps. 300 caps. 600 caps. I miss charisma. Yeah, the Winkin have a face only a mother could love. But even that's a bit of a stretch. I pulled a bit of petty theft to scavenge some meds, and while shopping I decided to buy the radium rifle, as I thought it would be perfect. Chambered in 45, decent damage, a little radiation damage too. All for 400 caps. Yeah, this'll work. I'm sure it won't backfire. And holy shit, ammo is expensive. Like, I have to sell a kidney and a leg just to afford it. So what do we have? Tabitha's treasured clothes, a scarce amount of ammo. We're going to have to manage our stuff carefully. And honestly, I kind of like it. You know that feeling when not everything's abundant? Like, I have to take nice sips of irradiated salt water to heal instead of using normal stim packs. See, the resources are scarce, but it does make me feel like a true wastelander. I talked to the Mariner and Cassie Dalton about some side jobs to earn some extra caps. The Mariner wanted us to go after some tools, and Cassie told me to clear out some ghouls, but we'll get to that after I talk to old Longfellow. In the bar, I tried to get him to help us, but unsurprisingly failed the speech check, so I had to bribe him out of his chair. What did I have to bribe him with? Was it a fat wad of caps? The head of a Milo Queen? Oh no, a bottle of whiskey. Ah yes, a man after my own heart. It'll be fine, I'm in a bar, there's gotta be some whiskey somewhere. Oh, loot. Let me just, oh, you saw nothing. One quick load later, I realised I could just buy whiskey from Mitch the bartender, which makes sense, and giving the whiskey to a Longfellow where he agreed to help me at Arcadia. Putting Kasumi aside for now, we set off to scavenge some more resources and complete those side quests for money. Just outside of town, we ran into some trappers and put our radium rifle to work. We killed one after the other and even managed to scavenge some coastal armor. And not gonna lie, the stuff was good and a major improvement. After a trapper failed a trick shot, we looted the entire place and carried on, but now armed with a 10mm pistol. It's not the best, but a free gun is a free gun. I also managed to grab a coastal helmet. Look at me, all snazzy and suited up and covered up. Thank God. A bit further down the road, looting everything along the way, we ran into an abandoned house where I got my ego shattered. Yeah, so apparently I'm too wide to fit through this doorway. I mean, a bit mean Bethesda, but thanks. Oh, and by the way, if you received the "you've received a level" pop-up, just know the game's waffling. It did make my heart sink a couple of times, but no, I didn't actually level up, I checked. While trying to deal with some ghouls, I ran out of pistol ammo. So in my panic, I pulled out the radium rifle. And who would have guessed, a weapon that deals radiation damage does not work on already irradiated creatures. Yep, out of everything in this DLC, ghouls are going to be the main pain in my ass. Oh, and can I also just show you something? Yeah, those aren't exaggerated numbers either. That's actually how much ammo's worth. I'm shooting gold. After all that spending, what did we get in return? Drumroll, please. One whole Radaway. Yeah, not worth it at all. But with a spring in my step, I ventured further into the fog where I came across some landmines lying around. I disarmed them and put them in my bag for later. And later came sooner than, well, later. Because at the Cliff's Edge Hotel, we ran into another pack of ghouls. But this time, I remember my lesson. The radium rifle is useless. So the landmines were put to all right then. There we go. That's how you use landmines to get a ton of loot. I'm not gonna lie, I never thought the day would come when I would describe 5 ghoul bodies as a ton of loot. At the National Park grounds, we had to take out some more ghouls, where I proceeded to do the exact same thing. Crippling half of my body with the first landmine, and then committing self-delete with the second. You know what? Okay, this time no boom. I took them out using a pipe pistol, including one in a toilet, who, despite standing still, somehow I managed to waste a ton of shots. With the place cleared, we reported back to Cassie Dalton and claimed our reward, 250 caps. So we had to go on a little shopping spree. We sold all of our loot and walked away with a whopping 81 bullets for the rifle. Yeah, see, that's practically rich. With that, we set off towards Arcadia with old Longfellow, but that journey was very short-lived because a pack of wolves immediately folded us like a lawn chair. So I decided to go back and do a few more side quests. On the way, I borrowed a few more landmines off a conveniently unguarded bridge and stumbled across the fog crawler Miss Dalton wanted me to take care of. Yeah, remember those 81 bullets I just got? Yeah, say bye to them. This thing eats bullets for breakfast and asks for seconds. Greedy twat. To save some ammo, I figured I could get creative with landmines, and for once, I didn't blow myself up. Yeah, but apparently this fog crawler has a PhD in not dying. It sees the mines and just walks away. It knows. Like, look at this thing. Look! It turns around and just runs away. So I shoot it to lure it back, and it just stares at us, disappointed, and honestly, kind of hurt. So I tried placing the mines again, just for it to do no damage. Eventually, with all of its strategic retreats, it puts me down with no effort whatsoever. So I had to fight the strategy with strategy. Basically what I mean is, I got it stuck staring at us and I mag-dumped it. I don't know what happened, I don't really care what happened, it worked. And with enough bullets, and thanks to this tree, the fog crawler finally fell. Cheers, tree lad. But before I could celebrate, I ran into some more trappers, and thanks to the fog crawler, I had no ammo left. You see, these guys hit like trucks, which I guess everything feels like this when you're level 1. But after burning through every single last piece of junk in my arsenal, I wandered off looking for some loot, and that's when I found a convenient placed loot box at the edge of a bridge. Let me just...
The fuck is that? The fuck is that? Fuck off. Leave me alone. No, go away. Oh my god, that thing's fucking hideous.
I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
So yeah, and if that wasn't scary enough.
Get out of here! I'm out of here, get off this fucking island.
Needless to say, I'm terrified and I want to go home. Oh, you know what? Never mind. I just hate everything on this island. Well, almost everything.
Hello?
However, I did learn the pool cue was surprisingly decent at killing ghouls. Heading into the basement for the power tools, I tried using the cue again, but it wasn't cutting it. Maybe it was the lack of firepower, or maybe it was the fact I recorded this at 3 AM and the eepiness was getting to us. But either way, I struggled. I tried the pool cue, mines, a pipe pistol. They were all not very effective. I even tried Obi-Wan's advice by taking the high ground. Nothing worked. But finally, with the combo of the Q, Molotovs, a landmine tower tall enough to count as a Fallout monument, I crippled the glowing one and cleared the basement. I grabbed the tannery key, got the tools, and even snagged some bonus loot, and a nice shiny new shotgun for my troubles. I really hope the Mariner pays big for this because that was a roller coaster. But as I was leaving, some guy called Machete Mike showed up and offered me a mouth-watering 2,000 caps for the tools. And I'm not gonna lie, tempting. Very tempting. But I'm loyal to the people of Far Harbour. So politely, I declined his offer. But I did show him my new shotgun. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that first shot. Hey, but turns out he was carrying 3,200 caps anyway. So I'm extra glad I chose violence over capitalism. Because now, I'm rich. Just don't tell the tax man. After turning in the side quests, I bought a fresh stack of ammo and walked out 2,000 caps down and barely stocked. Ammo in hand, we finally headed back towards Arcadia with the Longfellow, and those wolves from earlier, yeah, still pain in the arse. Using Longfellow as bait, they went down. Further up the trail, we ran into a child of Atom, and it turns out, surprisingly, their faith offers zero ballistic protection. But with that, we reached Arcadia, where sadly, we had to part ways with Longfellow. Inside of Arcadia, we ran straight to Dima and talked to him about Kasumi, where he also tried to gaslight me into thinking I was a synth. No, Dima. I was born in a swamp, raised in a swamp, and I will die in a swamp. We headed down in the lower levels of Arcadia and found Kasumi, where we tried to convince her to come home. She said no. Right, listen here, I'm not getting paid by the hour. I get paid when you're home. So for the love of Atom, Kasumi, please, come with me. Alright then, off to the shop I go. I picked up a laser pistol and some ammo, and sold some junk that I definitely found and did not steal. However, Kasumi did mention if I find any funny business going on with Dima, it might change her mind. So it was time to collect some funny business. I grabbed the storage room key, snuck into a box, and eavesdropped on the secret meeting. Turns out Dima's missing some memories, locked in a terminal guarded by the children of Atom. But Faraday has a holotape that can unlock it. So I borrowed the holotape, and off to the nucleus I went. We got there just in time to watch some guy get flung, and by watching this display, I thought it would probably be better to join the cult instead of fighting the cult. But to join, I need to complete a ritual. They told me I had to drink from an irradiated spring. Is this a challenge? This is what Swamp Puppy lives for. I ran straight there and took a sip and immediately started tripping. Did they take my clothes? No. Did I feel like I should be naked for this trip? Absolutely. We wandered through the fog and followed a ghost lady, only to get swarmed by feral ghouls. I tried turning around, that didn't work, and I got launched straight into a car. Eventually though, with enough shotgun shells and even giving the laser pistol a bit of screen time, I made it through. You know, it worked like a charm until a ghoul came out of bumfuck nowhere and scranned us. But we made it, found the terminal password and retrieved the totem. We returned to the nucleus, totem in hand, and just like that, I'm in the club. I instantly raided every shelf clean and traded it all for an explosive radium rifle. We made our way up to the command center door and got warned it was dangerous. Please, I am dangerous to look at. Disarming the lasers, dealing with the protectrons and an assaultron with ease. Well, mostly. We reach the computer, but before we access it, we need to turn on the power. I'm sure it's as easy as that.
What the hell are you?
Death.
Yeah, so this was not fun. I'm just going to... You know, I need to stop using these things. And after tripping over a bin and getting turned into a smoothie by the blender hands of the Assaultron plenty of times, we got it crippled and without legs. Believe me, Assaultrons aren't that effective. But now, what legendary item will I get from this Assaultron? Oh. Something I can't use. But now with the Assaultron dead, we waddled our way over to the computer and it's time for everyone's favourite part of Far Harbour, Dima's memory sequence. I'm not going to go into detail, but here's the short version. You see these buggy boys? They need to go from point A to point B to point A. You build bridges, you shoot drones with turrets and escort them. There's 5 stages of this with escalating difficulty and puzzle, and honestly, the first time you play this, it's kind of neat and dare I say fun. But the second time, it is really boring. But we did it and unlocked all of Dima's dark secrets. Like the fact that he killed Captain Avery and replaced her with a synth. Oh, and the nucleus still has a working nuclear warhead inside the submarine. But now we need to go find Avery's body to confront Dima. We made our way to the Vim factory where it was super mutants galore, which is fine, they're way better than ghouls, but still painful. A couple of shots from a measly pipe pistol and I'm dead. But with enough ammo and cover and running away from everything that makes noise, I pushed through, made it at the security door, and immediately got jumped in the corner by 2 super mutants. We dealt with them too and got past the door, where we did a light bit of grave robbing, found a pretty nice locket, a skull, and a holotape. In the same room, we also met a security AI, where I used my swamp puppy charm to seduce the AI into opening the door. And inside, we found a beautiful rifle, December's Child. I honestly can't wait to use it. We talked to Avery about the whole you've been replaced by a synth thing, and she told me to keep it a secret, even though she is a glorified toaster, and not even one of the good looking ones, like Nick or Dan's. But fine, out of the kindness of my heart, I'll keep it a secret. Oh, hi Longfellow. How long you been standing there? Don't worry, I don't think he heard a thing. Anyway, I confronted Dima about replacing Avery with a synth. He also said keep it a secret for the peace of the island, or whatever that means. So to keep the peace, I did what any rational person would do. I immediately told Kasumi. I tried to convince her to go home one more time, but she said she needed time to think. Hey, that's fine by me this time. There's not another thought in my brain except on this island, there is a nuclear submarine that needs to go boom. But before that, we need to do a little ammo run because, you know, we've just got December's Child. Only to find out no one on this godforsaken island sells 5.56. So yeah, goodbye December's Child. You will not be missed. We loaded up on 45 and 12 gauge, then headed for the Harbour Grand Hotel. Yeah, this is where being stuck at level 1 really started to hurt. The suit mutants were tanks, my shotgun might as well be giving them a gentle massage, and the hounds, well, if they got close enough to bite us, the game was over in 2 chomps. Molotovs and explosive rounds got us through most of it. Well, except one super mutant with a cubby with a minigun. Yeah, I left him alone. He earned that space. After entering the keypad code, I found a magic pistol, and yeah, no wonder they had it behind a keypad. There's wizards on the island. We got the launch key location, but if this place was anything to go off, we need an armor upgrade. With Dima's memory sequence done, we unlocked access to the marine combat armor, which is actually the best non-power armor in the game. So we went diving into 3 separate sites underwater to collect our prize. Now look at me, out of that foul trapper armor and fully suited up. 164 defense, 163 energy resistance, and 66 rad resistance. Perfect. Just in time to swim down for the launch key, which was conveniently nearby and underwater guarded by anglers. And yeah, about the armor glazing. So I need to make a decision. Do I fight or use my moderately functional legs to run, grab the key and bolt? Yeah, I chose the latter. I ran, I swam, I grabbed the key and I survived. But now I'm faced with a choice. Do I confront Dima about the nukes, where he'd probably say something along the lines of, nah fam, don't do that, that's not very peaceful of you. Or go detonate the submarine in the nucleus. We fast travelled straight to the nucleus, dove into the sub, where some lass watched me as I was reaching for the panel. So I just turned the key, started the launch and booked it. I ran past all the children of Atom, escaping the nucleus, and then watched the whole place explode. We returned to Kasumi, where she finally decided it was time to go home. And honestly, I agree that is the best decision. Because not only do I get paid, But trust me, I would have turned Arcadia into a crater next. Back in town, we bought some fancy clothes to gloat in, did a little fashion strut, and said our goodbyes to the island. Meeting Kasumi back home, we got a thank you from the Nakato family, and a reward for all of our troubles. You know, getting shredded by bullets, mauled by ghouls, blown up by our own landmines, and getting scared half to death by every creature on that island. So we're rewarded with the grand stash, the glorious... Wait. What do you mean a single ice cold beer? You know what? Actually, that's the best reward. Because the real reward was the friends we... No, I'm not doing the friends we made along the way bit. With Far Harbour fading in the distance, we took one last look at the shoreline and completed Far Harbour, locked at level 1. You know what? I'll drink to that. If you made it this far into the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.